One morning, good to have you join us on the news desk at 10 live on Nta News24, and we're reaching you from Abuja. I'm Comfort and Modu. Let's bring you the headlines. Governor Fubara ensures rule of law will prevail in Rivers State as he swears in 23 local government chairmen. Bayelsa State government approves additional 61 billion naira variation cost on Member Braz Road, Nembe Rather Road project. Federal government commences evacuation of Nigerians from war-torn Lebanon. As the world rapidly urbanizes, cities are becoming home to new generation of leaders and change makers, as young people are at the heart of this transformation, especially across regions like Africa and Asia. As the world marks Habitats Day, the young ones, also referred to as Millennial and Gen Z, are called to step up and act as driving force behind sustainable urban development. World Habitats Day is a day set aside to reflect on the state of towns and cities and on the basic right of all to decent and adequate shelter. It is a reminder that everyone has a responsibility to shape the future of habitable spaces. Our environment correspondent Mina Daniel reports that this year's theme, Youth to Create a Better Urban Future, places the bulk of the task on the youths, a reminder that they are secure, and there's a secure habitat day to day is an assurance for their future. And now with me here to discuss what this day stands for is Dr. Michael Terungwa David, member UN Habitat and Urban Cluster and Executive Director, Global Initiative for Food Security and Ecosystem Preservation. Good to have you join us in the studio.
Thank you for having me, and happy World Habitat Day.
All right, so let's start by asking you to enlighten us on what this World Habitat Day is all about.
So if you slept in a home and you woke up from a home, you should be glad that you have the opportunity to have shelter and to sleep in a comfortable and safe environment. Now, this day is very significant for the whole of humanity, acknowledging the importance of shelter. Growing up in primary and secondary school, you were taught what are the three basic needs of man. You will say food, shelter, and clothing. So that tells you that shelter is important. But looking at the global population, over 8 billion persons, we have at least 1 billion people that are homeless. And let's bring it down to Nigeria. We are looking at about 24.4 million Nigerians that are homeless. That is about 13% of our population. And many of them are young people. And that is why today is very significant. We cannot have the future of this country living in unsafe places, living on the street, becoming homeless. And it calls for the need to provide adequate and safe housing for all citizens of this country.
So why exactly is the theme for this year focusing on youths?
Yes, because the youths are the most vulnerable. The youths are the ones that are homeless. So many factors. The unemployment is one of it. Many young people are still, some of them are still living with their parents, even those who are above 40 and all. But when you look at the young people, the innovation that they bring to the table, the smart cities that we're talking about today, it is the young people that can bring about this happening. Now, when you look at the style of building in the past, or I would say in our own generation, where big mansions are built, you will discover that young people don't care about those kind of houses. They are looking for small shelter, smart shelter where they can live. And why it is very important is because we're looking at climate change and its effects on habitat, especially urban habitats. You will see that with climate change, when flooding comes, homes are washed away, houses are destroyed. When the heat comes, it becomes unbearable to live in the kind of shelter that we develop now. So looking at the future, we are looking at young people who can come in with their innovation and technology to work with the older generation to come up with climate resilient building, smart cities of the future and not what we have. And when we say smart cities of the future, you look at young people, they're not looking at the very big cars, they are looking at bicycles, they are looking at motorcycles. But what do we have with the current design of our cities at the moment? There are no access for cycling, no access for motorcycle, waste management is an issue, there is no pipe-borne water, there is no electricity, and all of these issues. But for us to have a future that is resilient, we must involve young people in the planning.
Let me come in here. I know that this year's theme is focusing on the youth, but you definitely agree with me that it's a collective action and that requires collective responsibility. So what would be the role of government in ensuring that we all have quality shelter and habitat for all?
Growing up, we keep hearing, by 2020, there will be homes for all. Where are the homes today? So it shouldn't just be about talking, but it should be about action. And so we must provide adequate shelter for all citizens of Nigeria. Convert these semi-urban shelters and squatters into sustainable habitats where people can live, where people can have good life and be happy and be proud to be Nigerians, but more importantly, contribute to the economic development of the country. If you sleep in an environment that is unkept, in an environment, in a unsafe environment, you don't feel you are part of the system and you cannot be productive that way.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michael Terungwa, for your insight there. We've learned a lot and we're looking forward to see greater development in this direction. Good to have you join us and that you made out time to be part of the news this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, moving on, the capacity of 30 FCTA forest guards under the project implementation unit of the agro-climatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes and the National Park Service has been enhanced to consolidate the fight against wildlife crimes, banditry and illegal mining activities in the forest. Charles Alpha reports.
For 5 days, these guards were engaged in a compact and empowering training which focused on enhancing their understanding, skills, and professionalism in forest resources protection and management. The training provided the participants the opportunity to explore various categories of protected and conserved areas, honing on the specific duties and characteristics that make them exemplary forest guards, critical skills in anti-poaching strategies, intelligence gathering, and effective surveillance techniques.
We are going to give them a GPS with a particular coordinate. We'll ask them to go to that coordinate. When they get to that coordinate, they will end up at an endpoint.
Conservator General of the National Park Service, Ibrahim Goni, at the closing ceremony of the intensive training, said the participants play a crucial role not only in preserving natural heritage, but also in safeguarding the myriad ecosystem services that the Nigerian forests provide.
Your training in plant and animal identification alongside vegetation sampling lays the groundwork for better understanding of our rich biodiversity and the urgent need for its conservation.
What we are doing today is specific in protecting the forest resources of the FCT. It is measurable, it is achievable, and it is realistic.
The participants are expected to know the nitty-gritty of the FCDA bylaws governing the forests. Charles Alpha, Nta News.
The Rivers State Governor Fubara says although his party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, did not participate in the just concluded local government election, he had to ensure the rule of law prevails for Rivers communities to benefit from the ongoing development in the state. Governor Fubara stated this during the swearing-in of the 23 local government chairmen who emerged winners at the October 5th local government council election in the state. Osinachi Samuel reports from Rivers.
Swearing-in ceremony followed the declaration of the outstanding result from a Che local government area, where the candidate of the Action Alliance won the election. Governor Fubara charged them to emulate his leadership style, be selfless, and see their position as an opportunity to serve the people, build sustainable peace, and make life better for their communities.
Continue to use the means of peace, the means of ensuring that this state, the asset of this state is protected, the means of ensuring the federal government that we are not going to be party to any breakdown of law and order in this state.
The governor thanked the leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, for giving him the support to carry out this national assignment. Some chairmen speak on their readiness to change the narrative and ensure that Rivers people in the 23 local government areas are given their rights of place.
I'm going to do my best to unite everyone in a chair to make sure that we'll have an environment where investors can come.
We appreciate the governor of Rivers State for letting other parties take part in this election, regardless that his party was not part of it. And for the women of Rivers State, I'm going there to make them proud.
Is to create a medium-time, kind of job structure for the people of Okrika, and then see how best we can partner with some international investors that can come into Okrika.
2 out of the 23 chairmen are women. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, Nta News.
As part of its effort to rid the state of criminality, the Enugu state government has demolished a property linked to kidnapping activities in Agu local government area. Chika Ugu reports that landowners have equally been advised to be mindful of activities being perpetuated in their property.
The demolition of the duplex at Amabo Owele Court in Ogu local government area followed an incident which occurred in May this year when a young man was abducted in Enugu town and taken to the building, with a video of him sent to his family asking for ransom. Through the help of security agencies, the building was tracked, the victim rescued, and the criminals apprehended. He said cash, arms and ammunition were recovered.
The property you see us taking down right now is a place where a horrendous criminal activity happened. The government of Pitamba is concerned with security.
He warned owners of properties in Enugu to hand over their properties to trusted and reliable caretakers, as the state government will not spare any property identified as kidnappers' den.
Every landlord, once you put up a house in Enugu, will hold you responsible for any criminality that happens in your property. And once it becomes a violent crime, kidnapping, killing, in line with the law that was made by our predecessors in Enugu State, we will enforce it to the letter.
Meanwhile, the property has been confiscated by the state government as the exercise continues. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
We have more stories ahead right after this break. Stay tuned.
Not them sure. We are capable, reliable for your jobs. Printing your banners and books, as if even your cousin they do. If I tell you the price, if you go snooze, you go lose. Security printing, corporate gift items, outdoor advertising, including your billboard. I say direct printing textiles, oh, we they do them nationwide. For better printing, you call ABSTEF globally. So we they do as you talk, yo. We they do as we talk. Quality designs, your brand, our ego. You feel wrinkles, you feel colors, we go respond. Anytime when you call, anytime, any day, anytime. Say ABSTEF, now them sure. I say ABSTEF global links. Now then we know your for your large format printing, anything printing, yeah. ABSTEF global links, a touch of creativity. ABSTEF.
The Inspector General Police Kayode Egbetokun is assuring that the men and officers of the Nigerian Police will be enrolled into the Employees Compensation Scheme (ESC) to provide additional social benefits to the force. The Inspector General Police gave this assurance when the Managing Director of the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, Oluwaseun Faleyi, led the executive and senior management of the fund on an advocacy visit to the force headquarters.
We'll do everything possible. Whatever that is stopping the MPF from contributing to the NSITF, we have to look into it and make sure that we make it work this time around. Then with respect to your enforcement drive, please count on us that we are going to support you all the way.
Of the NSITF, Oluwaseun Faleyi, noted the absence of compliance from the police in respect of employees' compensation scheme, but expressed optimism that the intervention of the Inspector General will turn a new page in partnership between the Trust Fund and the police.
If there is any injury or any death arising from carrying out their active duty, then their families, their dependents would be compensated in accordance with the law. I think I want to believe that will increase gallantry, that will increase productivity.
NSITF is mandated by law to implement employees' compensation scheme under which it pays claims and compensations for injuries, diseases or deaths which may occur in the course of work, but these benefits can only be accessed by workers enrolled by their employers. And the federal government of Nigeria has commenced evacuation procedures for Nigerians citizens living in Lebanon following the escalating conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. In a statement issued by the Foreign Minister's Ministry, recently stated that the Nigerian President Bola Tinubu's government is committed to the safety and well-being of its citizens while making it the top priority. According to the statement, the deteriorating security situation in Lebanon, government has activated emergency protocols to ensure the swift and safe evacuation of citizens back home as soon as possible. Now the federal government revealed that presently about 500 Nigerians have registered with the country's mission. However, added that more than 2,000 Nigerian citizens reside in that country. Our statement urged all citizens living in Lebanon not to resist evacuation as the ongoing conflict may escalate, and appeal for cooperation with the evacuation process. It appealed to citizens to follow safety guidelines. and it appreciated the remarkable understanding of the international community and vowed to continue to monitor the situation. Now let's take more foreign stories and other developments around the world.
Thousands of demonstrators filled the streets of Ghana's capital, calling for an end to illegal mining in the country, also known as Galamsey. Some of the crowd insisted that they would continue to pressure the government until it addresses the issue and its damaging impact on the environment. Unlike a previous demonstration in September organized by pressure group Democracy Hub, police did not interfere with the protest. Determined to push the government to take action, the Catholic Church is gearing up for a peaceful demonstration against illegal mining on Friday, while the country's labor unions are set to declare a nationwide strike on Thursday. Protesters were also urging the government to free those who were arrested during a previous demonstration against illegal mining organized by Democracy Hub. Now, elsewhere, the Chinese embassy in Pakistan says at least 2 of its citizens were killed and a third injured after their convoy was attacked near Karachi airport. The embassy said that the attack took place at about 11 p.m. on Sunday, close to the Jinnah International Airport, and targeted the Chinese staff of the Port Qasim Electric Power Company. In a statement early on Monday, the Chinese embassy condemned the terrorist attack and requested the Pakistani side to thoroughly investigate the attack, severely punish the perpetrators, and take all necessary measures to protect the safety of Chinese citizens, institutions, and projects in Pakistan. One of the rescued officials told reporters that 10 vehicles were damaged in the fire caused by the explosion and that 4 cars were destroyed.
In Bayelsa State, the government has approved 61 billion naira as a variation cost on the Nimbe Brass Road project, bringing the total cost of the projects to 115 billion naira. The governor of Bayelsa State, Duodiri, also disclosed that he disclosed this during the inspection tour of the road and reviewing of the construction cost due to the current economic reality.
Good road infrastructure in any given society can never be overemphasized. As such, the Bayelsa State Governor, Duodiri, is embarking on road infrastructure to open the state, and one of such roads is the Nimbe Brass Road. On inspection to the 21 kilometers Nimbe Brass Road project, the governor expressed satisfaction with the work done so far, noting that his administration's commitment to completing the project on scheduled time. He explained that the 54 billion naira, which was the initial budget for the project, has been reviewed 61 billion naira as a result of cost variation occasioned by inflation, bringing the cost of construction to 115 billion naira.
I'd like to use the opportunity to call on the federal government. I know I have met Mr. President on this road. About this road, I've also communicated to him, and the president assured me and even directed the Minister of Works to do the needful. We are still awaiting action, and I'm very convinced that with the interest shown by Mr. President, the second phase of this road will be awarded this year by the federal government, and we will partner as a way of partnering with the state government to ensure that our dream in our generation of driving to Brass Island will be achieved.
The Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Moses Taibowe, applauded the governor for the initiative and spoke further on the level of work done.
Once the bridge is through, it's only asphalt that will be remaining for them to do.
So far, 20 kilometers of the road has been sun-filled, with the governor reiterating his administration's commitment in partnering with the federal government in achieving the dream of driving to Brass Island. Timinapri, Ohia, Nta News.
We have more stories from Kogi State, but that will be right after this break. Let's go to Kogi State, where the government has opened up a 5-kilometer alternate route to Nyama village along Ganaja-Ajakuta Road to serve as a bypass in case the regional Ganaja Road become impassable due to flooding. This proactive step was taken by the Kogi State Flood Disaster Response Team to ameliorate possible hardship should the main Ganaja Road be obstructed by flood as the waters approach the danger threshold. The State Governor Ahmed Osman Ododo had earlier directed the Flood Disaster Response Team to immediately open up an alternate road to ensure that motorists do not suffer from the hardship of possible blockage of the main road by increasing the level of flood waters in the area. The governor reiterated his administration's commitment to ensuring that motorists and passengers were not subjected to hellish experience on the road. And he noted that the popular Ganaja-Ajakuta Road remained the gateway to southeast and south Nigeria, and it is used by hundreds of thousands of commuters every day. Now, the federal government has mapped out the sum of 254 million naira for revamping of healthcare facilities in Enugu State. The Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyiwa Aina, disclosed this during a walking visit to Enugu. Let's get the story.
Inspecting health facilities at the Enugu Zonal Office, the Executive Director, Primary Healthcare Development Agency, said one of the fundamental priorities of President Bola Tinubu's administration is to improve the health sector, especially the primary health centers. He said Enugu State is one of the beneficiaries of the ongoing revitalization of primary health care facilities across the country, noting that the agency has completed assessment of 253 health facilities in the state.
We were able to make important decisions that will really move forward primary health care services in Enugu State.
Earlier on arrival, the Executive Director had paid a courtesy visit to Governor Peter Mba, where he applauded the ongoing construction of 260 Type 2 healthcare centers, as well as the state government's promptness in releasing counterpart funding. Appreciative of the federal government's intervention in primary health care in the state, Governor Mba said his administration has put modalities in place to ensure universal health coverage.
A lot of what we see in terms of programs and projects from the federal government are quite in sync with our governance philosophy.
In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
Now, work on the $2 billion Kano Maradi railway project is progressing steadily with significant completion achieved in various segments. Our Minister of Transportation, Saidu Ahmed Alkali, and members of the Joint House Committee on the Transportation from the Senate and House of Representatives have both expressed satisfaction with the quality of work by the contractors firm or the contracting firm during an inspection tour. Let's get details of this from Ladi Bala, who was part of the team.
The Kano Maradi railway project is gaining momentum. The Minister of Transportation and the Joint Committee of the National Assembly on Transportation have embarked on an oversight visit to assess the progress of the project. The visit aims to evaluate the contracting firm performance and identify areas requiring intervention to fast-track the project. Here, essential materials for the railway are being manufactured. Production of critical components such as sleepers, grippers, and rail nuts is well underway. Current project status indicates topsoil removal 72.2% complete, embankment 38.3% complete, supply for permanent way 28.5% complete, Bridges and overbridge structures, 4.6% complete.
The status of the project, so we already have an advance of the project with more than 35%. We are working in accordance to the plan.
Improvement as at the last time I came, all these bridges and culverts were not put in place then. And even the question of compensation that you have addressed to the National Assembly, I have directed the contractor to ensure that they have paid all the compensation along the corridor.
A lot of earthwork being done, a lot of concrete work is equally being done, and we are even surprised that many men and materials are maintained at the site. And it shows that the company is really very serious.
Everybody seems to be impressed with what they've seen today. It's really major infrastructure. The progress seems to be very solid.
The $1.9 billion project, equivalent to 400 billion naira, is fully funded by the contracting firm, with the Nigerian government contributing 15% through appropriation. Completion is expected by 2026 in Abuja. Ladibala, Nta News.
All right, we have Ladibala in the studio to continue this conversation, and she's going to be telling us what she has seen, whether it's satisfactory or not. Ladibala, you just returned from the journey with the minister. What was your expectation? Was it met? What has been done so far there? Because I can see the transportation sector, even the Joint Committee of the National Assembly also joined this trail to see what's happening in the Kanu-Maradi road.
Well, thank you very much, Comfort, for having me. Indeed, it is an oversight function, by the Joint Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on Transportation, alongside with the Minister of Transportation, Senator Saidu Ahmed Akali. The visit basically is to assess the level of work done so far, because this project has been contracted since August 2022, and it is expected to be completed in the year 2026. So 2 years down the line, how far? And I think is coming from the fact that even the federal government is really committed to this cause and really want to see that this project is done with, so that Nigerians can heave a sigh of relief and going by the high cost of transportation and all that. Because the new oil well is the railway transportation system, which Nigerian government is investing in heavily. So what we saw on ground was actually amazing, as you can hear from the feedback from the members of the committee and even the transportation minister. Work has actually gone far. As we speak, the status of the work is at 35% completion. Topsoil removal has already gone far, about 72%, and the embankment and all that. Well, basically, the first point of call was the Kazaure, production site, which is a very big, site. And what they do there basically is the production of the basic component that is required for the construction of the railway. There we saw the sleepers. In fact, we saw the assembly of various machines, huge machines, and they were producing the sleepers. The sleeper is the slab, that will be laid on the lane, and the grippers. We equally saw the production of the rail nuts and other machines, other component that is required. And the project required like 9,000 sleepers. So far, they have produced more than half of that sleepers. And
so let me come in there, Ladi, talking about the figures that is required to actualize this project. From what you've seen there, what is the source of funding, and do you think whatever amount that has been allocated to this project is enough?
Yeah, that is the interesting part of the entire project. The amount allocated for the project is enough. According to the contracting firm, Motor Angel. Earlier, the MD, took the the committee members down memory lane and explain the entire component of the project. And he did said the contract was signed at $1.9 billion, which is equivalent to $400 million Nigeria. And Nigerian government is expected to fund only 15%. The construction, the scheme, you know, the component of the contract is what they call, the firm is expected to do the engineering, the construction, the procurement, and the financing. And the financing, Nigerian government has given them the go-ahead to source for loan to the tune of 85% of the total sum required. And that loan will be paid, you know, in 50 years. So, but I don't know what the percentage of the loan is, but that is the condition of which the National Assembly has already approved. So those are the issues. And the MD assured the Nigerian government has already advanced more than 50% of the 15%. Wow. That Nigerian government is expected to do that. That is the level of commitment that the federal government, you know, is injected into this project. And the work done so far is with the money provided by the Nigerian government. The one that the firm is expected to bring, so far they have been able to mobilize only $400. Yes, they're able to mobilize just like, I don't want to discuss them. Figures. Yes, but they're able to mobilize just not much. And they've been assured that in the next, early next year, the bank they have approached, one of the banks is the African Development Bank and a South African bank. They are already talking, paperwork is ongoing, and they are very confident that first quarter of next year, much of the funds would have been released and work will go very far. Okay. As it is, it's just the production of those materials. The moment the materials are done, because earthwork has already reached more than 70%, but they want to concentrate on they have divided the work into 3 phases. Now, the first phase is to see that they complete the railway from Kano to Daura. Okay. That will be the first phase, which they are looking at early next year. That particular section would have been completed.
That's an appreciable progress that has been made on the Kano Maradi project ongoing. But before I let you go, what's the time frame for this project, basically?
The time frame is, like I said, is from 2022 to 2026. That is the time frame. So the firm has like 2 more years to go. So we are looking at 2026. 2025 is just by the corner. And from all indication, before mid 2025, that portion from Kano to Daura would have been commissioned by the Nigerian Railway Corporation. And, all right. Yes. And I want to say that I think Nigerians should actually look forward to this project, because even the ambassador of Portugal, you know, was on that team. He was excited because it is a Portuguese company, and it is a company that has the reputation of delivering on their job and quality job. And he was excited that the company is here in Nigeria and is partnering with Nigeria in building the country's infrastructure. All right,
Ladi Bala, thank you so much. You've gone, you've seen, and we're looking forward to get more reports from you on the progress done on that particular project and even to other parts of Nigeria.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ladi Bala.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk health with October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, with women around the world being united through a series of activities aimed at highlighting issues around this disease. Deborah Balagbobo reports that women in Abuja also joined the Pink October trend with an awareness campaign at Jabi Lake Park.
Thank you very much, everybody. Look towards the chest and the stomach. That's, you're looking to see whether the chest is rising or falling, right?
Cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness. And this is what the Pink October group is highlighting, drawing the attention of Nigerians on the need to be health conscious by keeping the environment clean, while also creating awareness about breast cancer with free testing.
Let's bring those people together and try to do something. That's the reason why we have physiotherapy here. We're doing health checks as well. They can check your vitals. They're doing manual checks for early detection of breast cancer, because you know early detection for breast cancer is the best. If you detect it early, you can find a solution.
Everybody knows that October is an awareness month for breast cancer, so that's the essence of this event, to sensitize people about breast cancer, to have people that, if possible, people that have survived it to come over and talk and give us their testimonies, and also to give back to our society.
Create awareness on cancer, particularly the breast cancer. It's a serious public health concern. It's ravaging humanity, and so in occasions like this, it's important that we draw attention to it.
The environmental officials should be going round. Anybody found doing that kind of a thing, they find them. They should stop it. We should try and keep our environment very clean. The better for us.
The exercise, they say, will be an annual event to further push down the message of healthy living. In Abuja, Deborah Balagbobo, Nta News.
Away from that, Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development Commission is asking residents living on floodplains in flood-prone local government areas in Kogi State to relocate to higher ground to prevent another occurrence of past flood events. Correspondent Solomon Ayede reports from Kogi State.
Anxiety spreads in Kogi State as the water levels of the Niger and Benue rivers continue to rise. The communities living along the riverbanks prepare for what appears to be an unavoidable disaster. In Kogi local government area, Edeha and other riverine communities are already submerged, leaving residents displaced.
What we're dealing with here is numerous villages. It's quite a chunk of communities.
In response to this threat, the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPADEC, has taken action. Engaging with local leaders and stakeholders, the Commission launched a flood sensitization campaign. The first stop was the palace of the Ohimege Igwe of Kotonkarfe, His Royal Majesty Seidu Akau Salihu, where district and community heads from vulnerable areas gathered. The managing director of HYPADEC, Abubakar Yelwa, represented by the Director of Administration and Finance, Jimo Gabi, delivered a message urging immediate relocation to higher ground to minimize the impact of the coming flood.
The flood is here, and we should do all it takes to make sure it's seamless all through the joining of flood in our communities.
From Kotonkarfe, the HYPADEC team moved to the palace of the Megeri of Lokoja, seeking the royal father's support in spreading the message to his subjects, especially those in remote areas. The officials also met with key stakeholders before heading to Kwata Market, an area vulnerable to flooding. Here, HYPADEC emphasized the need for action, recalling the destruction caused by the floods of 2012 and 2022. A similar message was delivered at the Palace of the Atai Gala in Ida, where Alhaji Jimo Gabi reaffirmed HYPADEC's commitment to the safety of the people. The Commission plans to conduct a needs assessment and community mapping within the next 2 weeks, urging cooperation from the residents to ensure the success of the program. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
News at 10 is broadcast live on NTA News 24. Time now to recap the news. Governor Fubara ensures rule of law will prevail in Rivers State as he swears in 23 local government chairmen.
The means of ensuring that the state, the asset of the state is protected.
Bayelsa State government approves additional 61 billion naira variation cost on Nembe Brass Road project. Federal government commences evacuation of Nigerians from war-torn Lebanon.
This is Nta News 24.
Now, involving women in all facets of the economy will bring about remarkable improvements in the society. This was the message of the wife of Ekiti State Governor Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji during her visit to the rural areas. She advised female appointees to domesticate her pet projects for the benefit and transformation of all. Tayo Osho reports.
The aim of the visit is to sensitize the people, especially women, of all the opportunities that abound to better the lots of women in the state. To train a woman, they say, you train a whole nation. This is why the impact of a woman is felt in every sector of the economy, as this present administration has many women at the helm of affairs. The wife of Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji, is a shining example, as she has been using her position to impact positively on women in the state, irrespective of their levels and age. The Adire Hub, to mention but a few, has trained and empowered more than 400 women. Food items and cash were also given to women in these rural areas to cushion the effect of the current economic challenge.
The wife of the president has made our job as first ladies easy at the state level by giving support to our women at different states, and our own job is so easy is to deliver those functions. And she also encouraged us that we can even add, where she's given 50 million, we can still add to increase the number of beneficiaries.
Deputy Governor of Ekiti State, Monisa Diafuye, who expressed gratitude to the rural women for their support, noted that it is an ample opportunity to inform the people of the transformation programs of the state government. The gesture, which will be extended to all the local government areas in the state, will help the women appreciate the governor's wife's initiative. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Osho, Nta News.
As Nigeria navigates the complexities of nation building, the Muslim Congress offers a roadmap to progress through informed citizenship and highlighting citizens' vital role in shaping the country's future. Correspondent Ibrahim Danghamid reports on what the mandate of the Muslim Congress is and how their mandate also aligns with Nigerians' quest for greatness.
Nigeria's rise to greatness is a shared responsibility, not just a destiny. The Muslim Congress, a law-abiding organization promoting core Islamic values, is at the forefront of shaping the nation's future. With a presence across many states in Nigeria and globally, they are well positioned to make a meaningful impact.
I can assure you, if we only change our attitude, return to the basics, we'll have nothing to fear.
It is imperative that we acknowledge that the burden of recovery rests on both our leaders and the citizens.
It's very clear that the purpose of government is the security and welfare of the people. That is the primary purpose of government according to our constitution.
There's a difference between faith and practice. You can be a Muslim, but in all your activities, there's nothing about Islam there. You are a Muslim, but you are not practicing.
As Islamic leaders share their insights, it is clear that the Muslim Congress encourages Nigerians to contribute to the country's growth, foster national unity, and persevere through challenges. The Muslim Congress plays a vital role in promoting national unity and progress. Now, while challenges lie ahead, their focus is fixed on the pan-Nigerian mission to succeed. Attendees shared their insights on the event's impact, citing a renewed commitment to community service.
And very, very enlightening
talk from the Islamic perspective on what to see or what we should do as Muslims, how we should face the current challenges in Nigeria. They are not problems, they are challenges.
We should be patient because Allah himself has said he's with the patient one. Trial is for sure in the life of humanity.
The Muslim Congress envisions a Nigeria that reclaims its position as a leading force in Africa and globally. To achieve this, they emphasize the importance of collective citizenship responsibilities in effective nation building. In Abuja, Ibrahim Danhamidu, NTA News.
And furtherance of the drive to actualize his command philosophy on transforming the Nigerian Air Force for greater agility and resilience to effectively project air power in meeting all national security imperatives, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, conducted an operational tour of NAF units in Enugu and Port Harcourt. Deputy Director Public Relations and Information Group Captain Kabiru Ali indicates that the purpose of the visit was to evaluate operational readiness and infrastructural development of the units with a view to enhancing their efficiency and effectiveness in Enugu. The Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar visited the 405 Helicopter Combat Training Group and the International Helicopter Flying School to inspect various facilities, interacted with personnel and discussed ways to improve operational performance. Now, the Air Marshal extended the tour to 115 Special Operations Group in Port Harcourt, reiterating the same mission of assessing operational readiness and identifying areas for infrastructural upgrades. The operational visits underscore Air Marshal Abubakar's unrelenting determination to improve the NAF's air power capabilities through strategic infrastructural enhancement as well as robust operational, logistical and welfare support. Let's now talk sports.
Former Super Eagles forward Daniel Amokachi has been appointed new technical advisor of Nigerian Premier Football League outfit Lobi Stars. Lobi Stars announced the sacking of former handler of the team Eugene Agabe on Sunday. Saturday's 1-0 home victory against Shooting Stars was Agabe's last game in charge of the Makurdi club. Amokachi is to resume his new role at the club, effective immediately. Meanwhile, Chuba Akpom was on target for Ajax in their 3-1 home win against Groningen in the Eredivisie fixture on Sunday. It is Akpom's second goal in 5 appearances in the league this season. The last time the former Arsenal striker scored was in September in a 5-0 win against Fortuna Sittard. Akpom, who came on in the 59th minute, scored in the 94th to seal the win for the Eredivisie Giants.
Weghorst, stevig, maar ver. Steken en afronden. Chuba Akpom en Wout Weghorst dus een goal en een assist. Dat is nog eens...
In tennis, world number 6 Coco Gauff dominated unseeded Czech player Karolina Muchova to win the China Open, the 8th WTA title of her career and first since January. The American 4th seed had struggled with her serve earlier in the week and was forced to battle back from a set down in her 3 previous matches en route to her first final. The American 4th seed had struggled with her serve earlier in the week and was forced to battle back from a set down in her 3 previous matches en route to her first final since winning in Auckland at the start of the year. But the 2023 US Open champion showed little sign of that fragility as she claimed a 6-1, 6-3 win in 1 hour and 17 minutes.
And Coco has done it.
2 sets to love. 6-1, 6-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coco Gauff.
That's
Daniel Adere there with Sports Update. And his update is at 11. I'm Comfort Amadu. Thanks for watching.